So baseball, it wasn't until the mid-'80s, and they weren't the Billy Martin team anymore, that I truly took ownership of them. And what do you remember from that time as I started to kind of take off on my own? I'd go to games with my friend Johnny O. Do you remember anything about that?
I remember the A's didn't win very often, and I was surprised that you had that kind of stick-to-itiveness uh, and loyalty. And now you mentioned the Broncos. That's definitely where the loyalty came from. The Marie and John Lefevre. They were true loyal fans. I think you got a lot of your loyalty from them.
100%. The Lefevres get all of the credit for the Broncos, which, could have very easily been a Raiders thing because of their iconic nature, because I didn't have a dog in the fight until that came about, and I didn't realize I was choosing an arch rival.
Yeah.
But again, getting back to the social aspect, because that's where I'm going to eventually lead with us, that John and I became, and we're still very close friends. We bonded over baseball, and as teens, you talked about your adventures of going on the bus, like going to LA, and of going. You like to get out and find out who you were a little bit, away from home and away from school. The A's games were that for John and for me, that we got to go and really kind of establish an identity. I mean, the BART was before we could drive, so we got to be out there. And the ballpark was an incredibly romantic place, especially with the voices of Bill and Lon.
Yeah, I'd say there's something that fits in there with that loyalty or that is and the freedom is the ability to get yourself to and from a distant location on your own. That was a very big deal. I built go-karts, I built scooters, I built all kinds of. I was always looking for transportation to take me away, to take me anywhere I wanted to go.
Yeah, and you use the word magic a lot when we talk about things like that. That transformation of leaving your normal world and going somewhere else, regardless of where it is, it does feel like magic, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. Yeah.
And I think there's that transference. That's why I give some of that transference to the ball game. The ballpark, the Oakland Coliseum, especially in the mid-'80s, when there weren't many fans there, we really got to define it. We really got to say, this is ours. We had this crew out in center field, and we had taken the BART train in. We had our rituals that we did, paying $3. We'd get our nachos. We'd hang out with our regular people, and all those things, again, lent toward ownership. This was our magical world.
Yeah, you definitely had them to yourself. I think there was less than 500 games, 500 people at some of those games.
it was sparse, but you know what? Bill and Lon were always with us, and people with the transistor radios would keep it on. We'd be listening to them as we were watching the games.
Yeah, that's for sure. They were magical.
They were. Now, when did you attach to Bill and Lon? Was it when they started to get better, or did you like Bill and Lon before the A's started to progress?
I don't remember, but I think I liked them better before. I tend to think because there wasn't that much time otherwise.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, we're talking about, 84 to 87 when the Bash Brothers really came about there, and 86 and 87 really came to fruition. They had the 3 straight Rookies of the Year with Weiss and McGuire and Canseco, and then Stewart shows up, La Russa shows up, and the team, Eck, and it just transformed. And, what an announcer can do, Bill and Lon, especially as a team, is they can take a really bad situation and still make it entertaining. That those teams, that's one of the reasons John and I, because we fantasized about being Bill and Lon, and we sometimes would pretend we were Bill and Lon out there in center field. We loved the idea of the story aspect of it.
Infield back all the way around. Long in center, shaded toward right center. Ramirez has excellent power to all fields. Just a base hit ties it. Pitch on the way. Swung on. High drive. Right center field. That ball is hit very deep. Long is going back to the bullpen and makes a fantastic catch over the wall. Holy Toledo. Terrence Long made the catch of the year, and the A's have won the game. He went over the bullpen wall in deepest right center field, and a stunned Manny Ramirez can't believe what he just saw as Long is mobbed by his outfield teammates in right field, and the A's have taken the first 2 games of this series. Can you believe that one?
I think they helped make Mom a fan. Mom loved listening to Lon in particular because he made her laugh.
Yeah.
You know, and
Right. That's surprising that when she finally so you taught her how to read scores or how to score a game. That made the biggest difference right there. And then she got into, well, she'd listen to John Madden every morning on her way to, and he always had something to say. And then she got in touch with Lon and Bill.
yeah, it's amazing what a strong announcer, those real opinion leaders can do when they're colorful, when they're warm, when they're charming. They can again be another form of magic. If you can't take the actual device over the air, listening to these great storytellers, they can take you there themselves.